Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. Good to have you, Justin. Looks like you worked everything out, huh? Cool.
Hi, David.
Is the other David going to show up tonight?
I
too?
just, he just texted me back and said, yes, he's getting on right now. He just got home from work.
Okay, awesome.
And then I emailed the link to Tom, the new guy, and then I just texted him and told him that I sent it to him, so he should be joining us shortly too.
You sent him the link?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Have you heard from Miguel?
Miguel said 9:30 would work for him.
Yeah,
Did you send him the link?
I did.
Okay.
So hopefully he can join too.
Okay.
I do apologize. I'm not going to see a lot of help this time. I tried to access the textbook, so I did what I could, but I think most of my answers are wrong.
Did you? Maybe between the five of us, we'll get it right. Did you get the link that I sent you?
I did, and Miguel sent me a link also, and that one left out. So
okay,
I have it.
I wish I would have known that because I sent my bad copy back, and I just sent, and then they sent me a new one before. I mean, I didn't even order one from the bookstore, and then I just barely took it to FedEx today.
Oh,
I could have just mailed it to you.
No worries.
Oh well.
No, it's okay. I just have an online textbook now, so it'll work all right.
Yeah, that's what I like. Anyway, yeah. It's easier to find things. Okay. All right. Well, I've given him the information and I text him, so hopefully he'll join us.
Yeah.
Okay. The only one that I didn't do is 15. And now that I've worked through everything, I think I get it now.
15?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So I'm still kind of hung up on, which one was it? It was, number 10. With the world price, I have no idea what surplus would be. It was 9.
Okay. I will, I'll share my screen if we want, so I can show you what I did.
Okay.
Okay, there's Tom.
Tom, good to have you.
Hello, thanks for doing.
I'm glad we could hook up.
Which problem are we on?
We haven't really started yet. We were just talking about the ones we didn't get.
Oh, no problem.
We're just waiting for Dave Rohr to hop on. But I guess we could start and we could always go back if we need to.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Do you guys want me to just share my screen or do you want, oh, here he is. Okay.
There he is. Hey, good timing, Dave.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yep.
Okay, good. Sorry I'm late, guys. I just got off work and it was just a rush to get home and I didn't make it.
Hey, no worries.
We haven't really started anyway. Do you guys want me to share my screen with what I've done or do you want to just work through the problems with the PDF that we have?
Well, screen share in the past worked out pretty well.
Okay. Okay. I'm not guaranteeing that I have all of them right, but when I do this, I sometimes take some notes if I think that I'm going to have issues with it, if a test or something comes up.
Yeah.
Okay. So for number 1, it says, assume for Guatemala that the domestic price of coffee without international trade is higher than the world price of coffee. This suggests that
I have D on that one.
I put D as well.
okay. We know that if the world price is higher, then they export, and if the domestic price is higher, then they import. So because the world price is lower, we know that the other countries have the comparative advantage over Guatemala.
Correct.
So they will import. Is that what you got too, Dave Rohr?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I agree with that.
Are you eating dinner again?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Hey, tell them no fair. I haven't even got to that point yet.
Yeah, but you're on Pacific time, so I don't. Oh,
That's-
here's Miguel.
Hey Miguel, good to have you. We just started. We just went through number 1, so good timing.
Okay, number 2. Suppose a nation of Canada forbids international trade. In Canada, you can obtain a hockey stick by trading 5 baseball bats. In other countries, you can obtain a hockey stick by trading 8 baseball bats. These facts indicate that
I went with A on that one just because, obviously, since they could get more for their hockey stick, they would export those so they could get a bigger return on their investment.
I agree with A.
right, because
They increased from 5 to 8 on their return. So
yeah, the op cost is lower for baseball bats than it is. But we don't. I mean, we don't know what the other countries are. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Okay. Okay, patterns of trade among nations are primarily determined by.
C was the only one that made sense to me.
Mhm.
And now I didn't get to go through the chapter, and so I'm not sure if it talks about income elasticity of demand. But with what I knew, it sounded like C was a good option.
Mhm.
don't ask me why, but I didn't know that one, and so I Googled it, and Google says it's B, political considerations.
So I googled it too, just to double check my answer, and one site said B, and another site said C. So
I Googled it. I always Google twice.
yeah,
And I Googled it and got comparative advantage. And then I also read it in the book that it's comparative advantage.
okay.
Good call.
Okay. After a country goes from disallowing trade in coffee with other countries to allowing trade in coffee with other countries. This right here, I copied directly from the book. I copied and pasted it. So once trade is allowed, the domestic price rises to equal the world price. No seller of textiles would accept less than, what does that say? Less than the world price, and no buyer would pay more than the world price.
Agreed.
See,
Explain that way. Then. Yeah.
did you say explain it again?
No. I said the textbook makes it pretty simple. That's
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The before trade domestic price of peaches in the United States is $40 per bushel. The world price of peaches is $52 per bushel. The U.S. is a price taker in the market for peaches. Refer to this scenario. If trade in peaches is allowed, the United States would.
I put B, export, just because it can get the extra $12 per bushel.
Perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Number 6, trade enhances the economic well-being of a nation in the sense that.
I put C, the total surplus, will increase.
Yeah, I agree with C.
Yep. Okay, I copied this and It's probably right, but this is what I copied this right here from the book. When a country allows trade and becomes an exporter of a good, domestic producers of the good are better off, and domestic consumers of the good are worse off. Trade raises the economic well-being of a nation in the sense that the gains of the winners exceed the losses of the losers. So I put B. What does that mean? The gains of domestic producers exceed the losses of domestic consumers, regardless of whether a nation imports or exports the good in question. I probably Googled that. Did you Google your answer to get C?
I did. You know, to me, it comes down to
B.
we've been studying.
It says regardless of whether a nation imports or exports, and that can't be true. Because depending on if they import or export, either the producer or the consumer will be a winner. The other will always be a loser.
So you're saying it's not B?
No, it wouldn't be B.
Okay. Now, okay, I'll agree with changing it if you can explain why C is the answer.
To me on C, I'll finish here. We've been looking at the domestic supply versus domestic demand, between farmer A and farmer B the last couple of weeks.
Uh-huh.
And anytime they go to trade, they're trading because it puts the total production that they get in trade past to the right of the total supply that they've been producing by themselves. And so when the country trades, the total supplies or the total quantity of materials is going to be increased.
Okay.
So I definitely agree with that, but I'm looking at it, and if C's right, then D's right too. Because if you increase surplus, then you're putting downward pressure on the price of all goods, correct?
Not necessarily. Depending on if it's an export or an import. Because again, if you look at it, importing is good for the consumer but bad for the producer, and exporting is good for the producer but bad for the consumer. So depending on which way the surplus goes, if it goes to the consumer, if it goes to the producer, it could drive it up as well. It could drive the price up as well. But either way you look at it, whether it drives it up or down, there's always a surplus, an increase in surplus.
There's an increase in surplus. Yeah, there is an increase in surplus, either consumer surplus or producer surplus, which increases the total surplus. Okay, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks for explaining it again. Appreciate that.
If this country allows free trade in tricycles, okay, this line here, I don't know if you can see my screen. This line here
Yeah, we can see it.
is my mouse, is the domestic price. So, and then this line here, the world price. So if the country allows free trade in tricycles, the consumers, actually the consumers will gain,
Correct.
right? Because
I have A because the world is, the price.
yeah, because the price goes down.
Correct.
And producers will lose because
they're going to lose money.
Yeah.
Yeah, currently they're making $19 a tricycle, and it would go down to $11 a tricycle if they allowed trade.
That's really funny because I put right here the price. I put the answer right here, but then I put the wrong one down here. Okay. 8. When a country allows trade and becomes an exporter of a good, which of the following is not a consequence?
That
Remember,
I'd say it can't be A. Because they're trading.
remember the only way they're going to be an exporter is if the world price is higher.
So they would demand a higher price from their local consumers as well. So it cannot be A.
Mm-hmm.
So B is the same thing as it can't be B because they're exporting because they're making more money.
Right.
And again, when you export, the producer gains and the consumer loses. So I think C is the only one that would not be a consequence, because the losses of domestic consumers of goods would not exceed the gains of a domestic producer when you export.
I agree with you.
Okay. C is not the consequence. Okay. Number 9. With trade, producer surplus is,
I got A, $900.
okay, and then I have my,
Okay, there. Yeah, I agree with 900.
okay. Without trade, consumer surplus is,
I got B on that one, 845.
is that what everybody else got? Or do we need to explain it?
Yeah.
That's what you got, Miguel?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I was using this for something else. Sorry, let me put my formula back in. Oh, this is, or let me put my numbers back in. This is 30. This is 18. This is 80. And 40. Is that what everybody else got?
Yes, I got 70.
Okay. When the country moves from free trade to trade and a tariff, consumer surplus
I got B for that one.
I got B as well.
Justin, you're not making any noise. Are you agreeing with everything so far?
Yeah, I'm just getting, there's just a lot of feedback, and so I'm just like trying to jump in when I can, but.
Okay.
This one I actually left empty, but I'm going to go over it tomorrow before I submit it.
Okay. Do you want me to email you my formula right here, or do you have one set up on Excel?
I have one set up on Excel.
Okay. The nation of Aquilonia has decided to end its policy of not trading with the rest of the world. When it ends its trade restrictions, it discovers that it is importing rice, exporting steel, and neither importing nor exporting TVs. We can conclude that the producer surplus in Aquilonia is now
I put A on that one.
what'd you put?
A is an apple.
Okay.
Because they're exporting steel, so that means they have a higher market in steel.
Mm-hmm.
Importing rice, so obviously that's low, and TVs are the same, so nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. $14. The figure below illustrates a tariff. On the graph, Q represents quantity and P represents price. The deadweight loss created by the tariff is represented by the area.
I got D.
I agree with you.
So number B, letter B.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, here's my problem one.
Number 15.
I was working through it, and then I got sidetracked by another class. Did anybody get this one?
I put A with a question mark.
Well, here's what I got. Because if you look at what the world cost is, it says that I'm sorry, not the world cost. It says that imposed a $20 tariff on it.
So that would raise it to 100, right?
How did I get relative to free trade come the imposition of a tariff?
Well, it would go from 40. The world price is $40, but the tariff would raise the world price from 40 to 60.
There you go. That's the very top part. tells you right
Oh,
there.
yeah. I didn't see that up there. I forgot about that. The world price.
So by doing that,
I
by
need to
adding
move
that
this
tariff,
line down to 60.
Correct.
Ah, yeah.
So if you look at the difference between the with trade and with the tariff, you're losing 600 units in imports. And since total before the tariff is 1,200, then I assume that the increased domestic production is also 600 units.
Demand is still 1,500 and supply is still 900. Sorry, I was working through that in my brain. Explain it again, Dave.
So since it's the world price is $40, but they put a $20 tariff. So between the 40 and the 60, you're losing 600 units in imports.
Okay.
And then I put an increase in, shoot, hold on a second.
Now, why are you losing 600? I guess that would be my question.
Because you're going from, because the import is going to, or the tariff is going to decrease imports. So you're decreasing from the 40. So between the demand curve and supply curve at $40, you're looking at 600 to 1,800, which is 1,200 units.
Right here, this is
but then you're adding $20 of tariff, which takes you to $60. So the demand curve and the supply curve is from 900 to 1500, which is 600 units. So you're losing 600 units in imports. Now, the part I wasn't sure about is the second part, if it increases domestic production by 300 or 600 units.
Hold on, I'm very visual. Okay. Now you're. You were producing 1,200. You weren't importing anything.
So would it increase the domestic production by 300 units because you're moving it from 600 to 900 on the domestic supply line?
I'm getting massive feedback from you.
Oh, sorry.
Can you say that again?
I was thinking that it would just be an increase of domestic production by 300 units. Just because of the movement along the domestic supply line.
Yeah, but I don't think that it would be. I think domestic production decreases.
That's not enough.
No. Oh my God.
This is what has me confused is with the world price of oil, import would have been $1,800. We put the tariff on of $20 and it moves it down to $1,500. And so the tariff to me is decreasing it by 300. You know, 1,800 minus 1,500 is the 300 or 300 increase.
The feedback is too much. Miguel, can you turn your speaker off and we'll see if we can hear him better if we all turn it off?
How do I turn my speaker off?
At the top there's a mute microphone.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to mute mine too, and can you say that again, Tom?
Yeah, I said, I guess my misunderstanding or whatever would come from looking at the supply curve here. On the world price of $40, they would be importing or whatever. The demand would be for 1,800 units of the product. When you add the tariff $20, it moves it up to only 1,500 unit demand. And so to me, the difference 1,800 minus 1,500 would be a 300 unit decrease in the demand. But as far as the second half of the question, I'm clueless. Or the second half of the answer, I guess.
I think it follows the same logic because for domestic supply, in my mind, that means production. Because if you're supplying something, you're producing it.
Correct.
And so if you move it from the 40 to the 60, you see that along this domestic supply curve, you go from 600 to 900. So there's an increase of 300 being domestically supplied.
Okay.
with the tariff.
So then would it not be in A, with decreasing by 300 and then increasing the domestic by 300?
If we're right, then yeah, A is the right answer. But
who was it that was talking about it decreases the imports by 600? Somebody mentioned it decreased it by 600.
David had thoughts on that. If he's still here.
With us, David?
I couldn't get back to my mute button. Sorry.
It's all good.
Okay, so so we have $40 here. So the demand, you want the units between the demand curve and the supply curve is 1,200 units. Because you're at 800. Hold on, is that right? I can't read hers very well. It's so small. Let me look at mine.
Are you talking on the world price or the tariff price?
I'm talking on the world price. It's $40, correct?
Yeah, so
Maybe click on my picture
Okay.
and it will expand on your screen.
I did. It's just too small.
it's
Okay.
600 on the left-hand side
So-
and 1,800 on the right-hand side.
Right. So between 6 and 18 is 1,200. That's 1,200 units of surplus of imports. I mean that they're importing. But now, if you add that $20 tariff. Now you're going from the demand curve and the
900,
supply curve. You're going from 900 to
1,500,
15, which is
600.
600. Difference, which is a difference between the world price and the world price of the tariff is 600. So now you're losing 600 units in imports by adding that tariff because the tariff reduces the amount of import. That's where I got the 600 from.
So you're taking the difference from the smallest number to the biggest number along the quantity there. And
Right. So I'm taking the between the demand curve and the supply curve at the world price, and the demand curve to the supply curve at the world price with the tariff.
So what about the second half of the question, or the second half of the answer, as far as what it does to the domestic production?
That part got me as well. I was thinking that because it's 1,200 and you're losing 600 in imports, you're also gaining 600 in domestic production because you've got to make up the imports that you're not getting. But I'm trying to Google it now to see if there's some kind of help that explains it.
Yeah, good luck. I tried Googling it every way I could think of and couldn't come up with one.
Oh, just as a heads up, I found out that if we all have headphones with a mic, the feedback goes away.
If what?
If we all have headphones and a mic, the feedback goes away.
My headphones are in the car. I just can't be bothered to go get them. Next time. Next time.
Maybe this one might be worth just moving on and doing some research individually, and then if we find anything, emailing it out to the group.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
You know, another thing you can also do is when other people post their videos, you can kind of fast forward to that question to see what their groups come up with and why.
That is very true. You're a genius, Tom. Welcome to our group.
Guess what I've had to do the last 2 weeks?
Okay, the amount of revenue collected by the government from the tariff is?
I got A200.
Everybody else agree with that?
What was that? I'm sorry, this is number 16?
16.
Yeah.
And you got what? I got A on that one.
A200.
Okay, that's what I got.
So really quick, I'm sorry, how did you calculate that? Did you just do base times height?
Yeah,
Okay,
for that box there in the middle.
okay, thank you.
The General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, or GATT, was initiated in response to.
I put D.
I agree with D.
Yeah, it came about in 1948. Okay, the infant industry argument.
I put
There's
A.
Okay. Is based on the belief that protecting industries when they're young will pay off later.
I put A as well.
Okay. A makes the most sense, but or C works too. But I don't think the answer that they're trying to go for. 19. Which of the following arguments for trade restriction is often advanced?
That's the one I did not answer.
I have D. Don't ask why.
Well, we know it's not A because it doesn't make all Americans better off. And trade restrictions don't necessarily increase economic efficiency, because what if you have a crappy economy?
Correct.
And trade restrictions are necessary for economic growth. I chose to think that wasn't true, so that's why I chose D. Oh, and I did read a little bit about national security in the book.
I agree with D as well. I don't think it's any of the above.
The other ones don't make sense.
Yeah, D would be my first answer on that one.
Okay. Economists view the fact that Florida grows oranges, Texas pumps oil, and California makes wine as.
A, the free trade market.
Yep. That's the only one that works.
Which one you put for that one?
A.
Okay, that's what I got as well.
Okay.
According to Quizlet, 19 is D.
Fantastic. Okay, is there any of these besides 15 that anyone is struggling with and wants to go back to? Okay. Dave Valverde, can you post the link? Oh, never mind, we have the link. That's how we got here.
Yeah, also, in the bottom right corner, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's something that says links. Can you see that?
Got it.
Yeah, and it'll have a YouTube URL, and it's a lot shorter than the URL at the top.
Say that again.
So in the bottom right corner, it says Econ Lesson 04, and then under that it should say links. I don't know if you can see that or not, though.
Mine says choose links.
Can you show it on your screen?
Oh, hold on just a second. Let me pull Google Hangouts over to here. No, it's not on my screen. I was looking at this one that said choose links, and it takes me to my Google Docs.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing on the bottom right besides our pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only on yours.
I can just
But
post it in the
you can post it right here.
Okay, here you guys go. If your chat's not enabled, in the top left corner, you can enable it, and you can see the link that I just posted.
So do we each need to post it, or just one person takes care of it?
I think
We have all been doing it so that we can get the green check.
yeah.
I saw the link. It just appeared on me.
You can just, with one of us posts it on
I'll
the
just copy
chat,
it.
you can always copy it.
Yeah. I can also email it out to everybody just in case someone misses it.
So I see it in the chat window there.
Okay.
Well, hey, thanks again, everyone. It's a pleasure. See you
All
next
Only
right.
one of us has to post the link on the discussion board, right?
I think technically only one does, and they post everyone's name that doesn't.
Only one of us has to post the link on the discussion board, right?
I think technically only one does, and they post everyone's name that doesn't.
Okay, sounds good.
I think technically only one does, and they post everyone's name.
All right, have a good evening, guys.
Thank you, guys.
See you later.
Bye. See you next week.